I don't think we are getting anywhere, Mr. Chair. I don't know the question. And are we interested in narratives or we are more interested on records? I think we already agreed yesterday that the narratives are okay. And for purposes of hearing them, I think we have two distinguished grand old men who would like to revisit the past. It's almost a good hearing time, Mr. Chair, but the records are indispensable because even the sworn statement of Attorney Almeida Lopez is all about arbitration. He started about agreements to arbitrate. Two documents have been presented. But yesterday, when we were asking for records, I don't think ABS-CBN was so determined and they were so sure to be able to get the records. Mr. Chair, the best evidence are the records. We can hear all these narratives. For example, we talk about the loans in DBP. They're so persistent, about $600 billion in the 70s. And when our peso was devalued, the government pays them because of the sovereign guarantee. But this is another record. Today we are, I think, settling a particular statement sworn before us by Attorney Almeida Lopez. This representation yesterday demanded the submission of the records of the arbitration proceedings ordered and initiated by no less than the Office of the President. This is all recorded in his affidavit. The President was unflinching. She said, for the sake of total transparency, she suggested an arbitration committee where ABS-CBN will be given all the opportunity in this world to present their evidence. She even mentioned about Torrens titles and any proof of evidence for the claim of ABS-CBN, not only in Bohol Avenue, but also those that are cited in the other provinces. And I can almost memorize the statement that Malacanang wanted that the proceeding be made public, formal, and properly recorded. Mr. Chair, I think we gained our right to demand those records. I'd like to have a categorical answer from ABS-CBN, when will the records be submitted? Because there is no substitute for the arbitral award, Mr. Chair. They started with an agreement to arbitrate. I think we have all the reasons to believe that the arbitration was completed.
Mr. Chairman.
That is the only document, Mr. Chair, that we can rely upon in order to see once and for all whether the documents sought by the arbitration committee in presenting all the evidence of ownership were presented properly. The arbitral award will tell us all those proceedings, Mr. Chair. That is why there is no substitute for the best evidence.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Marcoleta. Vice Chairman Defensor, you're now recognized.
Mr. Chairman, kagabi po na tanong po din ni Congressman Marcoleta yung punto pong yun tungkol doon sa ebidensya. Nais ko lang po unang bigyan ng pagsaludo at respeto si Attorney Jake Almeida, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. Yung po lang kasing pagkikwentuhan nung ating po mga guest ngayong hapon, nagsimula po kasi doon sinabing may utang ang DBP at doon po nagpaliwanag si Attorney Almeida kung ano po yung pinanggalingan ng pagkakautang yun. Una po, nagpapasalamat ulit ako sa dalawa nating guest ngayon at yun nga po binabanggit ng ating Honorable Marcoleta, batay na po doon sa pagkakaayos ng arbitration agreement, ano pong dokumento ang nagsasabi o nagpatunay na ito po'y kanila. Yun po ang hinahanap niya nung kagabi pa ho, nung tayo naghihiling. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, respects and salute to Attorney Almeida and Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. Thank you po.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Congressman Mike Defensor. Bago ko po kayo kilalanin, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile, ay ipapasagot ko lang po sa ABS-CBN muna kung kailan po ninyo mabibigay yung mga dokumentong hinahanap ni Congressman Marcoleta, sapagkat kayo po ay binigyan na ng direksyon na isubmit yung mga dokumento na hinahanap sa inyo bago po mag-umpisa ang hearing na ito.
Mr. Chair.
ABS-CBN.
Mr. Chair, before
Yes, Congressman Sarate.
point of information, Mr. Chair. Nabanggit ko na rin ito kahapon, and I think yung Secretary ng Board of Arbitration is on Zoom, no? Si Attorney C, no? And probably she's in the best position to also tell these joint committees kung ano ang nangyari sa proceedings na yon at saan na ang records ng proceedings na yon ng Board of Arbitrators.
Hearing suspended.
Tapos na siguro. Tapos na siguro.
Alisin nyo na sir, hindi naman ako magsasalita. Naglolo ko yung app namin.
ABS-CBN, kanina po ay may pending tayong katanungan kung kailan nyo may susumite yung minutes po ng arbitration court. At yung pwera po sa arbitration ruling ay yung minutes at yung procedures po ng arbitration court. Meron po ba kayong maibibigay na kasagutan, Mr. Carlo Katigbak?
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to request the committee to recognize that these documents are over 30 years old at nahirapan po kaming hanapin ang kompletong proceedings. We will continue to exercise diligence to try and secure whatever documents we can find and submit that to the committee at the soonest time possible po.
Maraming salamat po, Attorney Katigbak. Sa madaling salita po ba, kung bibigyan namin kayo hanggang bukas, kasi bukas po yung unang napagkasunduan natin, hindi nyo pa maibibigay bukas?
Malamang hindi po.
Sige po. Hindi daw po maibibigay ng ABS-CBN yung hinahanap nating dokumento, pero meron naman po tayong imbitadong guest ngayong araw na ito na mismong miyembro ng arbitration court o arbitration committee. The chairman hears the presence of Attorney C. Attorney C, nandyan po ba kayo? Nandyan po ba si Attorney C? Isa sa mga original na membro ng 30-year-old na arbitration court. Attorney C? Paki-unmute po yung inyo pong mikropono. Ayan, umikot-ikot na si Attorney C. Magandang tanghali po, ma'am. Attorney C, pwede po ba kayo magpakilala po sa harapan ng committee ito? Attorney C, hindi po namin kayo marinig. Pwede po bang isenyas nyo na lang pagka po kayo nag-approve ay ibig sabihin ay kaya nyong maibigay. Pagka po kayo ay nag-thumbs down ay hindi nyo po kayang maibigay yung dokumentong hinihingi po namin. Naiintindihan nyo po, Attorney C? Hearing suspended.
Mr. Chairman.
Nagtsura ko. Umiikot nga daw ako.
Hearing resumed. Attorney C, naririnig po namin kayo dyan ngayon.
Yes.
Kami po
yes.
ba naririnig niyo po ng maayos dyan sa inyong bahay?
Naririnig po ng maayos.
Okay, Attorney C, pwede po bang magpakilala po kayo sa committee ito?
Yes, ako po si Attorney Bel Sisi. Ako po yung former secretary ng Board of Arbitrators. But I would like to respectfully request for the committee to give me more time to refresh my memory dun po sa nangyari because I just received the invitation an hour ago before the start of the committee hearing. So actually po, ang participation ko lang talaga dito sa Board of
Attorney C,
Arbitrators.
excuse me po. Tinanong ko lang po kayo kung pwede po kayo magpakilala sa committee ito. At ang susunod ko pong katanungan para po hindi po kayo masyadong mahirapan, ay pwede niyo po bang mabigyan ang joint committee na ito ng lahat ng minutes noong po nangyaring arbitration procedures or proceeding? Attorney C?
Sa totoo lang po, wala akong kopya ng records because that was how many decades ago, Your Honors. So actually, ang meron lang po akong kopya which was given to me by Angel, the staff of the House Committee, was a photocopy po noong yung kopya ng decision. Actually, it could hardly be read kasi ang labo pa. So actually, I'm requesting for a copy of yung decision from Attorney Dong Rendor. And then I would like to just authenticate it kasi ako po ang nag-authenticate as certified true copy nung decision. So, yun po yun.
Mr. Chair, may I?
Yes, Deputy Speaker Marcoleta.
Attorney C, kayo po yung secretary nung nag-arbitrate na pinag-uusapan namin dito?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kabisado po ni naman ninyo yung proceedings kung ano yung arbitration, hindi po ba?
Sa totoo lang po, yung if I recall it correctly, meron pong a board of arbitrators was formed with the attorney Oscar Garcia representing the government and former Justice Amborfina Melencio Herrera as the chair and Mr. Andres Bautista as the nominee of ABS-CBN.
Sino po yung nagte-take po ng mga minutes kapag ka po nagko-conduct ng arbitration proceedings?
Ako po yung nagtitake down ng minutes.
nasa inyo po yung mga record ng transcript of stenographic notes. Nasa inyo pa po.
Wala na po, Your Honors, because hindi na po ako connected with the Office of the Government Corporate
Hindi
Counsel.
po, nung kayo po yung secretary, natapos po ba yung arbitration?
Natapos po siya.
Okay. Nasa inyo po ba yung record? Ganito na lang po, kasi karaniwan po, pagkatapos na maihayag yung rules ng arbitration, nung arbiter, kung sino man yun, i-require po niya yung partido, karaniwan po para mapadali, either position paper o kaya memorandum. So, nag-submit po ba yung dalawang panig ng either position paper or a memorandum? Pagkaraan po ng ilang panahon, yun po ang titingnan ng arbiter at mula dun sa dalawang pleadings na yun, gagawa po siya ng desisyon. Yun po ang tinatawag na arbitral award. Dahil po yung proceedings na yan ay napaka-importante, yan po ay in-initiate ng dating Pangulong Cory Aquino para mapag-alaman talaga o malaman ng sino man kung talagang nakapag-present ng evidence ang ABS-CBN. Ito po kasi yung nakalatag doon sa statement ni Attorney Almeida Lopez na kinailangan pala yung arbitration. Yun lamang po kasing record na yun ang makapagpapatunay kung talagang na-establish po ng ABS-CBN ang kanilang pagmimayari. Nandun po yun dun sa arbitral award. So, meron po ba kayong hawak nung pleadings ng dalawang partido at mula doon ay nagkaroon ng ruling na arbitral award para yun po ang isubmit niyo sa amin para naman makita namin. Meron po ba kayong ganung record?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, wala po.
Salamat po.
Although meron pong
Yeah.
position paper, pero wala po akong hawak na document.
Maraming salamat po, Attorney C. Yes, Vice Chairman Mike Defensor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, again, iulitin ko lang po yung binabanggit ni Deputy Speaker Marcoleta. Bukod po dun sa pag-establish ng ownership which he was asking last night, gusto niya makita yung mismo mga dokumento kung ano yung naging pamamaraan ng arbitration. Ito rin po yung tinanong ko kanina. And in line with the questions of Congressman Barzaga, Attorney Almeida is still here. Ulit po, magandang hapon po sa inyo. Doon po sa, papaliwanag ko lang po yung nangyayari. Kasi po doon sa binabanggit na usapin, nagkaroon ng arbitration agreement. Ang lumalabas po, matapos ang pagbalik ng ABS-CBN, gobyerno pa ho ang nagkaroon ng utang. Batay po diyan doon sa renta ng RPN9 na binabanggit. At pagkatapos po dyan, merong kailangan din bayaran yung ABS-CBN based on dun sa agreement nila. Ang naging suma total or force non-cash po to, ito po yung nagkaroon ng pagbayad ang gobyerno pa sa ABS-CBN. Kaya po kahapon tinanong ko, sabi ko, hindi ho ba tinignan yung mga pasilidades, yung mga broadcast equipment tungkol dito? Ang lumalabas, sinasabi ni SEC, is SEC, nandito po ba ang SEC? I'm sorry, PCGG, Commissioner Jan Agbayani. Kanina ho, binanggit nyo, Commissioner Jan, na hindi kayo binayaran ng renta magmula 1986 hanggang 1992. Tama po ba?
Based po sa, Your Honor, based po sa records ng PCGG, wala pong pumasok na payment arising out of that September 15, 1986 contract of lease.
Okay, pero kayo po yung nagmamayari ng mga properties na yan, ng mga panahon na yan. Bakit to hindi nyo ipinaglaban, bigla na lang na turn over itong mga equipment?
Ang pagkaalam ko po, based on record, meron hong negotiation on the amount of the lease rental of 1.2 million pesos per month. That was a stalled negotiation, and then it was overtaken by the compromise agreement of Roberto Benedicto in 1992. So mula po nung nagkaroon na po ng compromise agreement, nagkasabay din ata po yung compromise agreement sa arbitration at ang based on my investigation from the old people in PCGG a week ago, ABS-CBN was not mentioned or was not an issue. All they know is there is a compromise agreement between the government and ABS-CBN, and it is not an issue in PCGG anymore. And since then, well, hindi na po nag-surface po yung ABS-CBN assets na yan.
Okay. Ito pong equipment na ito, nung nasa inyo pa, kasi para lang maliwanagan yung mga nanonood, yung equipment po na ito, sinequester ninyo. Equipment po yan ng DBC, yung Banao
You're correct.
Broadcasting Corporation. Ito pong equipment na to, ginagamit ng ABS-CBN at batay po dyan, nagkaroon ng renta. Yung
Opo.
renta po, from 86 to 92, hindi binayaran. Kasi po, kaya yung cut-off date is 92. Was it because of the compromise agreement?
There was no compromise agreement yet during that time because it was entered into in 1986. Coincidental lang na nagkaroon ng compromise agreement si Mr. Benedicto noong October 2, 1992. Yung term ng lease is 1987 to 1992.
Okay, pero kung nagkaroon man pa kayo ng compromise agreement, yung pong compromise agreement na yun, hindi po sa ABS-CBN at BBC, kundi BBC, Benedicto, with PCGG.
Correct, Your Honor.
Nagkaroon po kayo ng compromise agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, sinurrender po sa inyo itong mga equipment.
Hindi ho equipment, kundi it vested ownership on BBC. Parang sinurrender ho ang BBC, IBC at saka RPN in favor of the government. General lang po yung surrender of these assets to the government.
At yung po mga asset na yan, kasama rin po yan. Kasi at that time, state of the art ang asset ng BBC. Tama po ba?
Yes po. Kasama dapat lahat ng pag-aari ng BBC. So, logically, if Benedicto surrendered BBC in favor of the national government, then all its properties, assets are included in that surrender.
Ito pong equipment na to napunta sa ABS-CBN.
Opo. Yes, Your Honor.
Binayaran po ba kayo?
It was a lease contract in favor of ABS-CBN.
Yes.
Pero ngayon, wala pa pong bayad sa record po namin sa PCGG. Wala hong bayad sa amin ang ABS-CBN.
So magmula po sa lease contract at saka yung actual purchase of agreement, hindi po kayo nabayaran.
Sa record po namin, wala po.
Yun po ba ay mali?
Based on records po, tama po kayo na wala hong bayad sa amin.
Oho, pero yung pong ganun bang biglang nawala na lang sa inyo, sa inyong proseso at batas, meron po kayong Proclamation number 50. Yan po ba'y pumasok sa regulasyon ng batas?
Yung pag-dispose po ng equipment na yan, kung inaamin po ng ABS-CBN na yan po ay part ng agreement nila na binalik sa kanila ng gobyerno, based dun sa Proclamation number 50, which regulates the disposal of assets of government, hindi po nasunod yon. Hindi po dumaan yung disposal ng assets na yan through a regular procedure at the assets were disposed of through the executive secretary during that time. Normally po sa PCGG, pag yung sequestered asset na lift and then the ownership of the sequestered asset is transferred to the national government, to PCGG for example, we will sell and dispose this asset through the Committee on Privatization. Centralized po kasi ang disposal ng asset eh. So, yung mga na-recover naming asset, binibenta po namin yan through the Committee on Privatization. Now, in the case of ABS-CBN in 1992, ang the law that governs the disposal during that time was yung Committee on Privatization ang nagbebenta. Sa ngayon, ang nagbebenta ay yung Privatization Council.
Kaya nga po, Commissioner Agbayani, ang nangyari po sa inyo, yung po mga equipment na to, bigla na lang nawala sa inyo na hindi niyo sinusundan yung proseso na gumagabay sa inyong ahensya at ibinalik lang sa ABS-CBN hindi dumaan sa tamang proseso.
Based po sa record namin, hindi ho na-record yung proseso na yan. Bigla lang nawala. Wala hong record sa amin na yan binenta at ang proceeds binigay sa amin. Hindi ho dumaan sa regular procedure na yan.
And do you assert that hanggang ngayon dapat bayaran yung utang na yan? Yung renta ng equipment?
Kung unless we are refuted by contrary evidence, the only evidence that we have and document is the lease agreement up to the present, and these rentals coming from that contract has never been paid based on our record.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Agbayani. Ngayon po, ito yung medyo critical po na tanong ko dito, dagdag dun sa equipment. Meron po akong letter ni Commissioner Dormal na ang sinasabi niya sa Banao Broadcasting Corporation, please be advised by the authority of the President of the Philippines, decided at its regular meeting, June 10, 1986, to allow ABS-CBN Broadcasting the use of the following sequestered assets. And Commissioner Agbayani, I hope you can listen with what I'm going to say. Ito pong radio frequencies, DWOK 630 kHz Metro Manila and DWW 101 MHz Metro Manila. Tama po ba yan?
Opo, 101.9.
Ang ibig niyo pong sabihin, to date, kayo nagmamay-ari, kasi ito po yung DCMM na radio signal, na ito po yung pagmamay-ari ng gobyerno at hindi pribado? Commissioner Bayani, ang question ko po is, based on this letter, ang sinasabi po nito is that you are allowing, because sequestered asset to ng Banao Broadcasting Corporation, ABS-CBN, no, the sequestered assets to be used by ABS-CBN, DWOK 630 kHz Metro Manila, and DWW 101 MHz Metro Manila. Yan po ba dito sa batay sa sulat na ito, kayo po nagmamay-ari?
Based po dun sa compromise agreement ng October 2, 1992, when Roberto S. Benedicto vested ownership of BBC to the government, logically, all assets and frequencies should belong to the.
Yes, I agree. But you allowed ABS-CBN in 1986 to use DWK 630 and DWW 101. Are you saying therefore that based on the records of PCGG, that in fact you are the owners of these radio frequencies? Kayo may-ari ng, particular dito kasi 630 MHz is DCMM. Yun po ba ang sinasabi niyo dito? Commissioner Agbayani? Nakomute po ata si Commissioner Agbayani, si Attorney siyang nakikita po natin.
Yes, Your Honor. In 1986, there was that letter to allow the temporary use of these frequencies and I think TB2 in favor of ABS-CBN, that was still sequestered during the time.
Mr. Chairman, very critical po to our ABS-CBN friends na ilabas niyo po yung dokumento na hinihingi ni Congressman Marcoleta. Because based on record, yung binabasa po natin sa ngayon at kung ito'y pagbabatayan natin, number one, kung doon po sa compromise agreement, hindi isinama ang renta ng ABS-CBN sa Banao Broadcasting Corporation ng equipment, lumalabas po may utang pa kayong hindi nabayaran. Kung hindi po, kasi ito pong compromise agreement, hindi po nakasaad doon yan. Pangalawa po, kung hindi po nakasaad sa inyong compromise agreement or sa arbitration agreement na ina-uphold ng korte na yung DWOK 630 kHz and DWW 101 MHz, hindi po nakasama yan sa pagbabalik o ibinigay sa ABS-CBN as kasamahan sa pag-uusap ng kompromiso or compromise agreement, ako po'y naniniwala na ito din po'y dapat bumalik sa gobyerno. Wala po akong sinasabi, yan po'y batay sa maraming salamat, Commissioner Bayani, sa iyong mga pagsagot. At yan po'y na-sign nyo po na po sa ABS-CBN para patunayan na ito po ang katotohanan at kung ano man po yung assertion tungkol sa utang at sa radio frequencies ay totoong sa inyo nagmamayari. Salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
Maraming salamat, Vice Chairman Mike Defensor. Yes, ABS-CBN.
Kung pwede lang pong sagutin ang tanong
Sige po,
ni Congressman Mike. Unang-una po yung frequency po. A frequency cannot be owned by a private company. It can merely be assigned by the NTC for your use. And dito po sa provisional authority na which was granted by the NTC on June 11, 2008. With your permission, Mr. Chair, I'll just read a quick summary. Wherefore, there appears to be no pending case or proceeding which puts in issue the ownership of petitioner, ABS-CBN po. A provisional authority to operate and maintain DWXS-TV using the frequency of channel 2, 101.9 megahertz and 630 kilohertz, all serving Metro Manila area, predicated on its franchise under Republic Act 7966, was granted for use by ABS-CBN po. So that's contained under the provisional authority granted by the NTC. Doon naman po sa rentals, I think it's quite clear in the arbitration agreement that the compromise agreement shall constitute the full and final settlement of any and all claims which the parties may have against each other. Not only in this case, but also in, there's another case being referred to, the lease agreement with RPN and BBC referred to herein.
Maraming salamat, ABS-CBN.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Vice Chairman Defensor.
Yes, Mr. Katibak, just mabilis lang po na pagsagot dahil tama ho kayo, wala namang may-ari ng frequency kundi ang gobyerno pa rin. Pero based on this 1986 letter, iyon po'y pinapagamit hindi sa ABS-CBN kundi sa Banao Broadcasting Corporation as clarified by PCGG. At batay po sa sulat na to, ipinapahiram lamang sa ABS-CBN. Kaya yun po yung kailangan nating iklaro. Kahit na po sabihin ng ABS, pinayagan kami, pag nag-assert po ang PCGG, batay dito sa dokumentong to, baka humatanggal sa ABS-CBN. So, kailangan po natin makita yung papel tungkol doon. Doon naman po sa mga litigation, doon na rin po sa pagsalita ng pananalita ng ating PCGG, they were never part of the compromise agreement. Ibig po sabihin, doon po sa proseso nilang sarili, hindi nagkaroon ng maayos na pamaraan para mailabas yung pagmamay-ari ng kanilang mga equipment o ng kanilang mga gamit. Again, pwede po magkaroon ng problema doon sa, although it's the Republic of the Philippines, but the PCGG process, kung saan kinuha itong mga gamit at binigay sa ABS-CBN, baka po lang magka-problema. Kaya lang po ini ko, Mr. Katigbak, again, I would like to assert na ito naman po hindi galing sa aking sariling pananaw, kundi ito po'y nanggaling na rin doon sa pananalita at mga dokumento ng PCGG. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Maraming salamat, Congressman Defensor. Yes, Congressman Barzaga.
Base po sa mga asunto na aking nabasa, at ikukumpirma naman to ni Commissioner Agbayani, nagkaroon ng compromise agreement ang PCGG at si Mr. Roberto Benedicto tungkol sa kanyang mga arrearian na sinequester ng PCGG. Tama po ba yun?
ABS-CBN?
No, no.
PCGG.
PCGG.
Yes, Your Honor.
As a matter of fact, that compromise agreement was submitted to the Sandigan Bayan, which paved the way for the dismissal of the criminal cases for sequestration against Roberto Benedicto. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mabibigyan niyo po kami ng kopya ng inyong compromise agreement para makita namin kung ano ang mga properties na binalik sa national government at baka kasama riyan yung mga Banahao Broadcasting at iba pang pinag-uusapan natin ngayon.
Opo. We will
Okay.
submit you.
So we will expect a copy of that compromise agreement. Anyway, this is a public record. This is a public document submitted in the proceedings before the Sandigan Bayan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair,